this point in time, I am the interim chairwoman of the task force. As you look through the agenda, we will get to a point on the agenda where we will be officially electing a chairperson for the task force. But welcome to all of you. And we wanted to start this meeting by having each of you introduce yourselves and give us a little bit of your background. You all have received a bio on each other, and certainly I have that in front of me and I could be reading it, but I think it's much more effective if each of you does introduce yourselves and at least tell us what you bring to the table.
My name is Doug Pett. My background is extensively in healthcare operations and facilities and construction. I've been doing that for roughly 12 to 14 years now. I'm interested in this because I think that I could give you a good hand to the community with construction and renovations and taking a look at what needs to be done with this. I'm kind of excited to be here.
Hi everybody, I'm Lindsay Schwerner. I grew up in the area and I'm a classically trained violinist. I was a tenured member of Allentown Symphony before I went back to school for business, and have worked in music business at Columbia Artist Management and Young Concert Artists in New York before I came back here. I accepted a position with Balin Artist Management, where I handle a roster of dancers, actors, and musicians of all sorts, and I handle their touring and also a lot of logistics and technical aspects of what it takes to get an artist onto a stage and performing successfully.
First off, I'd like to thank the Borough Council and President Bush for forming this task force. I really do believe that this is something good is going to come out of this. Lived here in Lansdale for 16 years now. I'm not a classically trained violinist. I'm not in construction. But I do feel that as a resident of this borough, I like to see something come here that we all can sit there and be proud of, something that we can, when we go down Main Street, that we can sit there and say, that's exactly what we want.
I'm going to apologize first because I lost my voice, but I'm a local artist and I do painting. I'm a member of the North Penn Art Alliance, and I've been organizing some local art events recently. I'm really looking forward to something I'm doing fun a day in January, and I'm getting a bunch of artists together, and every day we're going to create something and have a big show in February. That's what I've been working on recently. I'm just excited to get a bunch of artists doing stuff together. I think if we have a central location to do it, that'd be awesome.
By giving back to the community, I feel that I'm making, not only am I pursuing what I enjoy doing, but I'm also providing a service to the people around me. Because being provided a talent or a gift or whatever you have to offer, it becomes a responsibility for you to share that and do as much as you can to not only help yourself, but to help those around you, to make your entire situation better. So as we talk about the 311 Main Street project, one of the things I like to see is that it becomes an epicenter for the community, somewhere where when you think about Lansdale, because the borough folks have been talking about branding, one of the brands or one of the things that we can talk about as far as this theater is that becomes part of Lansdale's brand. When people think of Lansdale, they don't only think of a great community, strong schools, education, a place where you like to raise your children, but they also think of a place where if I want to go out for an evening, I have a nice cultural event that I can go to. Somewhere where I can go see some art, or see some comedy, or listen to some music, or somewhere where I can send my kids to be educated in the finer arts that help to enrich the community.
Borough Councilman, Ward 2. I've been serving for 2 years now. I'm the chairman of the Public Safety Committee. I serve on the Parks and Rec Committee. I serve on the Library Committee. I'm also a Civil Service Commissioner. And I, again, have a vision of, what can we do with a downtown destination for the town. And I think that I can try and help my community along by getting involved in this.
Mary Fuller, Councilwoman from Ward 1 in Lansdale. I chair the Parks and Rec Committee. I serve on Public Safety. I'm chair of Economic Development and vice president of the Library Committee. I was part of the original 311 West Main Task Force, so I'm happy to carry over and to continue. This project is near and dear to my heart. I'm interested in seeing where we can go with it, and anxious to have input, proud and glad to be able to offer my input from whichever side I would have been part of. So I'm anxious to get to work on this.
Hi, my name is Dawn Harvey. My background is as a professional actress. I was the founder of Lansdale Theater Works, and we produced The Miser at the Performing Arts Center about a year and a half ago. And thank you. And I've also produced theater in New York and Philadelphia, and lately I've been producing films too. And I think Lansdale has enormous potential to be a shopping, dining, and entertainment destination. And I'm glad to be a part of this, and just like you, I'm excited to get to work.
Matt West, councilman from Ward 3, also council president. It's my intention to be an interim member of this board until January, once the elections take place, and see who's on board. Many of you probably don't know, but in a former life, I also was a quasi-professional musician back in the day. Don't look it up. Tell me how it's so, interested in, yes, it was rock and roll. I did have blonde hair. Yeah. Okay. So I do have an interest of creating a destination downtown, and I'm really excited that all of you agreed to participate. Thanks.
My name is Charles Goes from Chantilly Floral. I bring to this a retail perspective. I have a passion for Lansdale, a drive, and I do have a lot of energy. I thank Matt and the rest of the crew here for inviting me. I promise that I will get this thing going. It's important to the community, important to us, and I think it will really make Lansdale stand out.
My name is Nancy DeLucia. I am the Director of Policy and Community Engagement at the Greater Philadelphia Cultural Alliance. And I've been working in this area probably for the last 8 years. I've been coming up to Lansdale. I've been working in other communities like Pottstown, Lansdowne, a lot of the older boroughs in our region. And our organization has worked with many groups that have had projects to bring arts councils or performance facilities to their communities. So I'm happy to be here to help you in any way I can.
Yes, so I'm with the Montgomery County Planning Commission, and I help administer our revitalization program that we've had for about 12 years now at Montgomery County. And really the goal of the revitalization program is to bring vibrancy back to our old communities, our old downtowns. And one of the big ways of doing that has been to support arts and culture facilities. That's why we supported this project in the past, and I want to see something happen in the future. We're particularly interested in venues that will bring visitors and customers to downtowns, and then we'll have spin-off effects on downtown areas, encouraging restaurants and other businesses to come into play. And we've seen it happen. So we know it can happen in Montgomery County, certainly Ambler, with the 2 theaters there. We've seen great progress there, complete change of its downtown. Souderton has really started making some changes with the theater there. And so Lansdale has great potential for revitalization, and that's really the county's focus.
Carl has a very strong background in this. He's well connected in the field. And so we have asked him, I have asked him as the borough manager to serve as staff to this group so that he can bring his talents and his knowledge to bear for this group as we move forward. So he will be specifically tasked with working with this group every step of the way, and eventually, as I will talk about later, the consultant that we will be bringing on board. I have a lot of respect for Carl Salduti, and I think he brings a lot to the table. And then sitting next to him is Stacy Maley, and who actually volunteered. She said, I want to be the person who does the minutes for these meetings. She's that excited about this. So Stacy is my assistant in the borough, and she'll be here. She's the one who put all of this information together together, packets together for you tonight, and she will be keeping very good minutes of each of our meetings so that you'll have those to review going forward. Okay, so welcome aboard, everyone. This is our team